No, it was boring. It really, 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 really was.
Yes, it's an interesting fight where Teofimo got the decision.
He's got all the physical attributes.
Ortiz thinks he was ahead. That's why I think he slowed down a little bit.
Teofimo did look good. He looks like he's gone quicker throwing his punches. He looks a lot faster.
He's nowhere near Crawford's level. You know, he's nowhere near Inoue's level. He's nowhere near Usyk's level.
I mean, the fight was shocking, and I know that's not just Lopez's fault.
One is the thing that he thinks he's better than he is. Okay, welcome back to BoxCast. Today, Simon, we're going to be talking about the fairly recent fight between Teofimo the Takeover Lopez and Jamaine the Technician Ortiz.
Take over.
He couldn't take over his grandmother in it. All right, not a turtle. Sorry, but oh my God.
It's a bad nickname, man. Take over.
Yes, it's an interesting fight where Teofimo got the decision. A unanimous decision. I'm not sure it was our unanimous decision on the result. I mean, it was a pretty boring fight, to be honest.
It was. I don't think Ortiz helped because obviously it was his game plan to hit and run, and that's what he did. And at times, Ortiz did look... Teofimo did look good. When he's not being his cocky self and he sticks to boxing, he looks really good. He looks like he looks like he's gone quicker throwing his punches. He looks a lot faster.
He's far more comfortable at 140 than he was at 125.
Yeah, and he does look... With times during the fight, he looked really good and he was impressive. He was impressive. But
I'm not sure I agree with that completely, but go on.
I didn't have him winning the fight.
I had it 116, 112 to Ortiz because basically won all the first 4 rounds. And in the first 4 rounds, he was much better. I had Lopez going forward and he was aggressive, but he didn't land any punches. He hardly threw any. And you could tell because the commentators were like, yeah, this. But like Ortiz needs to throw combinations, but he did. And Ortiz landed more punches.
Does Lopez just rely on landing
I think so.
one shot? And if that's the case...
His corner was saying to him, right, hit the body. And like you could hear him in a couple of rounds with his shoulder, hit the body because slow him down. Obviously, that's an obvious tactic.
The thing is
he was just relying on a knockout and catching him.
Lopez is a good boxer. He is.
He's good, yeah.
When he's not thinking.
Ortiz was a better boxer.
But when he's not thinking, I just need to catch him and I'll knock him out. Just box. Because he is a good boxer. He is a talented boxer.
I think the biggest problem for Lopez is he thinks he's better than he is. And that's no slight. He is a good world-class level boxer, but he's not super elite. He's not in the class of the super elite.
I think he could
He's the
be,
next
though.
level down. I don't think he is. I don't think his mentality is there.
No, but that's the thing. It's his mentality.
He could be if he gets rid of his dad and gets a proper coach.
Yeah, his mentality
No
is...
offense, Senior Lopez, but, you know...
His mentality
you're
is
just
what's holding
feeding
him
the
back.
wrong side of him.
He's got all the physical attributes to be
physically
super
and powerfully.
elite.
He doesn't gas
he's
out.
Fast.
He's good on all the athletic side.
He's got good footwork. He's got punch combinations, but it's up mentally.
I think there's 2 things mentally. One is the thing that he thinks he's better than he is, and the second part is he hasn't got like that chess player mentality that the true elites have, and that's what he's missing. It's the brain power. Physically, he has all the attributes. He's got the power because obviously Ortiz ran around.
This is why he annoys me, Lopez. This is why he annoys me because I'm always, every time I talk about him, it's like I'm digging at him. He's got potential to be great.
Well, no, he's annoying because of that fact. He could be a really good boxer. I mean, he's not super elite, but he could be elite. He's in that category of things, and he could be the best in this division. But like looking on that, Haney outboxes him every second of every day of every week of every year of the whole of the time.
Haney would be rubbing his hands together for that fight.
Yeah, because Haney now is like, because he's built himself up. Because my worry would have been before about the power, but I don't think it is from his performance against Prograis, because if he's walking around 160, if he's going in the ring at 168, I don't think he's got to worry about the power part. And in boxing level, boxing IQ, he's on a different level.
He is
to
on a different
Lopez.
level.
I mean, Lopez could always catch him. And maybe if they go at it, he could catch him, which was his game plan for this fight. But he had no plan B. He didn't change, really. The guy ducked out the same way 90% of the time, and he never got him with a left hook. He went to the right, and he never caught him. I mean, to be fair, Ortiz's movement was good, but Ortiz was the better boxer in that fight.
Yeah.
Apart from, I don't think he's got enough power.
I'll be dead honest with you. I watched it. I didn't watch it live. I watched it this morning.
Yeah, I've only watched it just before this. That's why I'm still worked up.
But I was not enough watching it.
Yeah.
I really. I mean, yeah, Ortiz was running and running and running. But he's not going to stand and trade with the guy who's the puncher.
I think the game plans, they got the first 4 rounds easy. Then the 5th one was, I'll tell you what I wrote down in it. 5th one was closer, I think. I even wrote boring on one round of them. Yeah, first 4 rounds I give. The 4th one was a bit closer because I think Lopez got a little bit back more into it. The 5th round I gave to Ortiz as well. 6th round I got boring and it could have gone either way. But I give him a 10. 7th I give him 10-9 because he got a headbutt in and cut him. But there wasn't much other action in it. So he slowed Ortiz down a little bit. 8 and 9 I've given to Ortiz. The problem is the championship rounds I've given them all to Lopez because he was being a bit more aggressive. But I think they were pretty close. It's just that Lopez was the aggressor and Ortiz didn't really give back enough. But I think he thought he was already ahead and avoiding. But
I don't think he did think he was ahead. I think going into the 12th, I think Lopez thought he needed the knockout.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Lopez thought, because his corner was saying Ortiz thinks he was ahead. That's why I think he slowed down a little bit. He was more avoiding in the last 3 rounds.
I mean, did you hear?
But the 10 was quite close. 11 and 12 was a bit more.
I mean, did you hear his comments after the fight?
I switched it off after a bit because it was just.
Do you know he's called out Crawford?
Yeah, he always calls out Crawford. Crawford would destroy you.
You just need to stop calling out Crawford because if that man says, "Yeah, let's do it," it's the end of your career.
Crawford's got a better. His whole corner, his whole system, his professionalism, and Crawford are better than anything you've got. You've got a bit of power. That's it. In level, and he download you. I mean, Errol Spence is a way better boxer than Teofimo Lopez, and he destroyed him.
Problem with Teofimo Lopez now is
he's like, nobody will fight you because why? Why would you want to fight you?
Well, this is what I'm going to say is he hasn't really got a massive fan base, has he?
No.
I mean, he's fighting on a spot. Well, in the UK, it was Thursday morning. He got booed. The fight was shocking, and I know that's not just Lopez's fault, but
well, you'd expect Ortiz to do it, but Lopez is the champion, supposed to be 2-weight champion. You can dispute it in the other one, but although I do dispute that. And this is lineal ring.
The one thing I will stick up for him is. Yeah, Ortiz did do a lot of running and Lopez couldn't cut the ring down, but Kambosos did exactly the same thing.
They should have been put, and then who's the other guy he fought? Martinez or whatever?
Yeah.
He did the exact, Martinez or whatever, Martinez did exactly the same thing.
You know, if you don't whinge about it, your last 3 fights have been like that. Learn how to cut the ring off properly. Use your boxing skills that you so-called got.
You can't complain if I go, yeah, you, me, Sam, let's have a go. And then, if you move and you don't let me land my punches, but I'm supposed to moan at you moving because I don't let me land my punch. Wait a minute. That's the whole point of the game, I think.
But Lopez, to me, he doesn't fill out a stadium, does he?
Well, he doesn't get his views. All our other videos are over thousands of views. This one's only a few hundred in our preview. But
this is where he's annoying because he could be great.
He could be, I think on a technical level, he's world class. At that level, I don't think he's, like I said, super elite. But as a superstar of like a name, he could be like in that top 5 of the best fighters, which he thinks he is the problem. And he isn't. He's nowhere near Crawford's level. He's nowhere near Inoue's level. He's nowhere near Usyk's level. He's nowhere near a better Bivol level, Canelo's level.
He's not in the top 15 pound per pound.
Yeah, and I think we've had commenters saying we haven't even got him in our top 10. Why would you have him in a top on that performance? If you can't you can't moan at your opponent for running away if you can't catch them. And to be fair, Ortiz in the first few rounds was moving, but he was catching him with punches.
What was it? Ortiz's 20th fight. Mm-hmm. He's never fought anyone massive, really, has he?
Well, he got beat by Lomachenko, but yeah.
But he did well against Loma.
Yeah.
I thought
he did the same thing, but Loma
Yeah.
obviously read him and then started changing
I mean,
it.
obviously Teofimo's only had 20 fights as well. I mean, I had Lopez 2 rounds down. That's how I scored the fight.
One of the judges had 117, 111.
That's stupid.
To Lopez, you can never have that. The other two, all right, if depending on what you
115,
like.
113,
I could see either way. And when they said that, I thought
yeah.
that's going to be Lopez's decision.
I mean,
the 117, 111.
I mean, because like I say, a couple of the rounds they were hard.
Give either side.
They were hard to score because there was very little landing from either of them. To be
It was
fair,
like, and then you throw one, and you, but they didn't land. They didn't do anything. He might have hit the gloves at the best.
I just maybe he needs,
I think of all the fights we've done, that's the most boring of all of them.
It was horrendous. I'm glad. Do you know what? I'd have been so annoyed if I'd stayed up till 4 to watch that.
Well, I nearly did. I'd
have fell asleep during it, to be honest.
I watched a bit of I seen the first round of Keyshawn Davis and thing, and thought, this is actually quite good. But I thought, I'm going to be tired now. I won't remember, so I'll watch it. And the only reason I enjoyed the thing was I watched the Keyshawn Davis performance, which was actually quite good. Because Pedraza gave it a good go, but you could see Davis's level was a level above. And he called out Lopez.
Well, where does Lopez go next?
Well, they've got to sort of unify within that, innit? So at some point he's going to have to come up against Haney. But if I was Haney, I'd be... I'm not sure it's that great a fight, other than he's got the belts. I'd probably do the other people to get the belts before I go to him. But if I was Haney, I'd be licking my lips. I think I could box you out of this. All I've got to do is avoid your swings and I'll knock you out. I don't knock you out. I'll clean you out of this. I've been cleared every round.
I just don't know where he goes, to be honest, from here. Yes, he's the champion. I get that. You don't. And he has won some good fights.
Well, it's good performance in here. It's against Josh Taylor, but we're not a fan of him either. So really, are we? So I don't rate him at that level. Maybe he might have been better before, but I don't think Josh Taylor's at that level where you go.
I mean, the Devin Haney fight, but I don't think he'll touch that.
He's not calling him out. That's the obvious one to call out. If you're gonna unify in your division or go after the people, is to go after belts in that division. But he
didn't call out like George Kambosos after he got beat either, did he?
Well, he didn't want to refight Loma, right? He ran away weight classes. He ran away to fight Kambosos thinking that's going to be an easy fight. Got done by Kambosos basically the same way as he's in this fight, except Kambosos did punch a bit more. And then he ran. If you're really the great champion, if you lose one because you got the wrong tactics or whatever happened, you weren't hydrated or whatever the thing is, aren't you going to rematch it to get it back and say, wait a minute, that was just, I messed that up, fine, fair enough, but I want a rematch, which he had the option of doing and just ran from the division because he knew he can't fight either of those guys. And then, all right, he's beaten Josh Taylor in this. Who else has he really had?
Yeah, but...
Because he struggled against 130. He struggled against Nakatani, didn't he, in 135?
We don't know what Josh Taylor's got left, do we?
No.
5 years ago, not even 5 years ago, 3 years ago, Josh Taylor was the man, wasn't
he? So he hasn't fought the man. He's fought the one after the thing. Who's the other champions in their division? Well, he's calling that Crawford, but that's just running from the division.
Well, like say you got Lopez, Josh Taylor, Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez. Looking there at who I think could beat him. It's horrible, that, isn't it?
Well, out of them, Haney would be the man.
Tell you can't knock Jack Cattrall because he is one. He's a boring fighter, but my God, he is one awkward man to beat.
I think he could move and punch enough to beat Lopez. Except he probably wouldn't get the decision, but unless he piled it on a bit more. But he's quite strong as well. He's not weak at that weight either. I think Ortiz just lacked the power. If he had a bit of power to hurt him a bit, I think he'd probably win more fights at that division.
We got I mean, Haney's the man, isn't he?
I don't see any of them doing
Romeo, Barrosa, Ryan Garcia. Although did Lopez? No.
No, they haven't fought him, have they? That's because Garcia wanted Haney, didn't he?
Yeah, Ryan Garcia would be an interesting fight. Prograis would be a good fight. Prograis Lopez would be a good fight.
Yeah. And it'd be a good measure of who is there. But he's probably not going to fight.
I mean, because I think Jack Catterall's fighting Josh Taylor next, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think if Jack Catterall wins that, he puts his name amongst
that list of people.
And you know, he's ranked quite highly. I mean, with the WBC, Catterall's ranked 4th. With the WBA, he's ranked 6th. With the IBF, he's ranked 4th. And with the WBO, he's ranked 5th.
So he's up there already.
So he's up there. So,
contender.
You know, his next couple of fights is going to be against one of the big boys.
Well, I'm not sure he beats Haney, but I think he's got a damn good chance against Lopez, especially that version of Lopez.
Like I say, he's an absolute bloody nightmare, Jack Catterall, to fight.
He's awkward and he can box.
Yeah, really awkward. Yeah, but
I mean, Haney's probably got a bit.
But there's a few fighters in that division.
So why is he calling out Crawford? Because he knows that ain't going to get made.
No, because he knows that's his biggest payday.
Yeah.
If he fights Crawford, it's his biggest payday going.
But it's not Crawford's biggest payday.
Crawford's
Canelo is the biggest payday by a mile.
I mean, Crawford... It's
the retirement fund. He's done everything he needs to do. He can do whatever, lose against
Crawford ain't going to look at him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, he's not. It's... But, you know, the WBA champions is Rolando Romeo. The IBF champion is Mateus.
Oh, there's Mateus in their division, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's quite good. He can punch.
So there's a few... Do you know what? It could be a really exciting division, this. But I think Devin Haney bosses them all. I really do. But then you've got... With the likes of Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis move up. Although, you know...
One's retired.
Apparently one's retired.
Well, Davis, they're touting against Haney, isn't it?
Yeah, Shakur Stevenson's apparently announced his retirement.
Let's just wait for somebody to call him back. Come out of retirement.
I don't know.
It's Tyson Fury-esque.
I
think his is just to basically get him back out.
If he has retired, it's a shame. Good luck to him. But it's a massive shame. There's some massive fights out there. But yeah. And then obviously Loma. I don't think Loma will move up a weight division.
He's not going to move up, they've said, isn't it?
His
coach said, isn't it, that he's not going to do that.
George Kambosos next. So we'd love to do a little...
We've got a busy May because there's their fight. There's hopefully Fury Usyk if it goes ahead. If somebody doesn't get strange cuts from strange elbows, which look like punches, frying pans, and flying, and better be Evan Bivol as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
In coming up all in, not better be Evan. There's somebody else. There's another third fight as well, all close together in May, and then there's better be Evan Bivol in June, I think. That'll be made for.
There's a lot of fights coming up. It's great, but yeah, that division could be exciting. I mean, Devin Haney should be fighting soon anyway.
Well, the thing is, Haney's got enough of a name and still probably earned it a bit, even though...
Yeah. There's no massive fights in that division, though, where, you know, the Saudis might come knocking.
But the only one there that's worth it is Haney. And Haney did want to fight like Garcia or Tank Davis or somebody like that would be the big fight, which is what I think they're trying to make, isn't it? Yeah, it hasn't been made yet, I think.
I mean, you're not going to... Haney's not going to move.
Which one's Rolly Romero in? Is he in that division?
Yeah, he's the WBA champion, WBA super champion. Because I don't think Haney's going to move up in weight, is he?
Because he only just got there, isn't it?
It'll be Haney Crawford.
Well, no, if you're him, you go for undisputed in that category. Obviously, you can have some, if there's high payday fights, he'll go and do that, but...
Yeah, I think he's got to chase down Teofimo, Haney. Go and chase him down.
Well, they could probably do with fighting one of the others I think Lopez needs to have somebody else before he goes against Haney, because if that's all he's got, then yeah, I hate to say it, but and I know there's the odd one or two Teofimo fans, but mate, he ain't that good. We ain't seen anything there that shows that he can do anything. Yeah, the other guy ran, but you're supposed to know how to close it down. There's other boxers who can close down people, you know.
And it's not, like I say, he annoys me because I know he could be fantastic.
He could be better, yeah.
He really, really could be. And I want him to be. I do. Because I think he could be.
Not that fussed
he could be an exciting.
He could be a name and a start to follow, but like I said in that one, I think Haney's got his number, and I think there's probably other people. Catrell could probably give him a good go.
Sandor Martin could give him a good go, actually.
Yeah. The Mateus is meant to be a punching beast as well, so if it's a punch for a puncher,
I mean, put him in with someone like that.
I think they need to clear out Romero and Mateus, or see whichever one of them, and then they fight each other.
Because Devin Haney's going to be too slick for him, and I think he knows that. And if he wants a war,
Romero, he's supposed to have put out a video of him doing him in sparring, isn't it? So he's probably got that bit over him. Ortiz, he's beaten in the amateurs before Lopez. So, but. Yeah, he's got a good chance. He can win some belts, but I think in that, if they go for undisputed, if he fights Haney, he's getting beat. Unless Haney's having a really bad day.
Haney's too professional.
Because I don't think he's going to get a scoring decision against Haney, like he's got in a couple of his other fights.
Where was that fight? Actually, was it in his?
It's in Vegas, isn't it?
Where was it?
I think so.
Just a weird.
Well, he was getting booed when he was talking, and they're like,
I just found it a weird place to. A weird day to have the fight.
Mm-hmm. There must be something going on, or whatever, isn't it? Or there's something else on the.
I mean, it was on ESPN, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just reading.
It was a strange event. I mean, like I said, the Keyshawn Davis one was good.
Just the headlines.
I haven't watched the other ones, but like
the headlines are not good for the fight at all.
That's the worst fight we've seen. Of all the ones we've reviewed on our channel, that's the worst.
No, it was boring. It really, 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 really was. But again, that's not going to do anything for. This is where Teofimo ain't going to get the money because he ain't going to fill seats.
No. There's nothing that if I don't see his next fight, I'm not that bothered. I'm more excited about Loma Kambosos.
And this is where I think he's a promoter's nightmare, because he could be a promoter's dream, because he's a gobby. Mm. He is a gobby, and he talks a good fight, and a promoter can work off that, but he just does not fill seats. He really doesn't. He's not as big a draw as he thinks he is. He hasn't got the fan base he thinks he has.
Nope.
So this is where I think he is going to struggle, because Haney Lopez should be a massive stadium fight, but it won't fill a stadium.
No, probably not.
It won't fill a stadium.
Well, Haney can pull a few fans.
Haney can pull a few. I think he's still got
I think his style isn't like that. It's more purist style than it is for all action style.
You know, but
he has a bit more name, I think, more. Lopez has a bit, but I think proper boxing people aren't that big fans of him because...
No, they're not. And that's his issue. And I don't know whether he carries a chip on his shoulder because of that. And that's where this arrogant cockiness comes in, and he thinks he's...
I think his father's told him too much that he's too good. If I'm being honest, there's a bit of bad parenting going on there.
Yeah, I mean, father-son combinations.
Sometimes they're brilliant, but I think you've got to have somebody who's realistic. I think theirs is they think he's the best. Like, he called out Crawford is just basically an insult.
The only one that I've ever known that was absolutely fantastic was Joe Calzaghe and Enzo Calzaghe. Yeah. But that was because Enzo Calzaghe used to tell Joe how it was. You lost that round, you were crap. Realistic. Yeah. You know,
you need to sort it out.
Give him a slap if he needed it. You know, maybe I'd like Lopez to go off to the wild card gym with Freddie Roach or someone, and just go and have a training camp.
He's got potential. He's got the power. And, obviously he can take a reasonable punch as well because he wasn't afraid. So he's quite slick. He's got good movement. He wasn't as fast as Ortiz, and Ortiz was a better boxer and more slick. But I don't think Ortiz had power, as I've said about 4 times now. But if somebody with power there who could box like that, they're going to give him a tough time. And when he's been against proper fights, they've given him a tough time. Kambosos just did basically the same thing, move, but could punch him. So, there's an obvious game plan of how to beat him. You need to change something. And you need to be in a fight if you realise that's what the guy's going to do. Or you might have gone into it thinking, this is what they're going to do. But then they change. Either you or the corner need to give you the plan and go, wait a minute, all right, it's time for plan B. You've got to have something else. The really, really good fighters have more than one way of fighting. Or if they're like Crawford, they can, southpaw, orthodox, whatever. They just download you and return it. The ones like Inoue don't care because they're the monster. It just doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't really matter what you do. Unless you happen to be a Filipino god of boxing, you ain't got much hope of fighting him.
No, it just annoys me. It really does. And that fight annoyed me, to be honest. It really did annoy me. But Ortiz annoyed me a little bit as well because I thought he could have done a lot more.
Ortiz should have done more and they could have won that fight. He's lost a fight that he should have won.
Yeah.
Basically because he's ran a bit too much and not punched. He was in a position where he's turned him. That was fantastic movement. Let your hands go.
Yeah, it's like I said.
You don't have to do power punches. Just let your hands go so you get your points scored and all this. He did it in the first few rounds. And then I think Lopez got a little bit better, but...
It just the whole fight annoyed me. Like I say, it was just such an annoying fight.
We're only doing this because we wanted to slag Lopez.
Just so.
We were right in our first one. Yeah, it depends which version of Lopez shows up.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a very good one.
It really, really wasn't. And
the frustration at Ortiz is Ortiz should have won. Yeah, I still got him winning, but he should have closed it out. He should have been a bit more. His movement was ridiculously good compared to what Lopez didn't really read him, despite the fact he did the same movement. But you need to punch as well.
I think if you're Ortiz's team, you're disappointed.
Yeah.
In an Ortiz as well, because he could have done that a little bit more.
Because he had the combos. When he let him go, he was hitting them.
He was superb.
Body shots
I rated
to the
Ortiz.
Head, everything was really good.
I think I even picked Ortiz to win on points.
You might have done. Which you did, really.
So technically, I got it right.
Technically, you were correct. Officially, you were wrong, but technically, you were correct.
Yeah, Lopez, to me, he just relies on that power shot too much and thinks once he's landed it, he's going to... That's all he needs to do. Just go back to boxing, break the boxer down like the elite boxers do.
Well, the fight before, that's what he did. The Keyshawn Davis had him on the... and Jose Pedraza's a good boxer.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Davis had him on the ropes in the third, but he was patient. He could have taken him out there, but he could have also gassed out if Pedraza could take his punches, because Pedraza was taking him quite well. And then he waited, boxed for 2 more rounds. Then the 6th round, he had his chance. And then he basically took him out of there. That's how you box. And all right, this guy's running, but you can cut him off. You still got him in moments, but even against the ropes, you couldn't hit him. No. Cleanly.
Hate it.
He only caught him with about 2 good punches in the whole fight. There's a right way, and he only got that because he got the body shot he hit on his hands, but because he had him on his hands, he lowered it and got one shot in. It wasn't like a great boxing skill of like top level fighter. There's way more than 10 fighters better than he is. He's not getting in my pound for pound top 10, mate. No matter what,
he's not in my
you can be from the same nationality, you can be from the same group, but no, he's not in the top 10 pound.
He's not in my pound per pound top 20.
There are way. You need to watch better boxers, and then you'll understand what boxing is.
Yeah,
it's just
no. Sorry, just not happening.
Yeah, and I'm not even that fussed if I don't see another one of his fights again. I'm not that bothered. Kambosos Loma will be so much better. Keyshawn Davis, I might start following because he's quite good. I've only just watched a fight, so I'm upset, wasting bloody hour of my time.
Well, like I say, I think I fell asleep around about the 7th.
Yeah.
With my little notepad. And like I say, I haven't even bought my notepad because there was nothing on it apart from bored, rubbish, bored, bit more bored.
Well, I basically said, I was watching it and just saying, like, this is going to be the rough. The judges are just going to give this to Lopez because it's just, Yeah. I said, because you can tell by the commentators' comments that they know this is what's going to happen. So they're already setting it up that, yeah, we know it's going to get cheated. And like, yeah, it's not my thing.
No.
And it's more than one time he's got that. So, yes.
Well, yeah, there we go.
So I think we call it there. That's enough of my ranting.
Yeah, before it gets
Lopez,
really
you're not
nasty.
very good. Yeah, before I go off. Ortiz, feel sorry for you, but you should have done a bit more.
Yeah, be disappointed in yourself.
You are a very, very good boxer and slick, but you need to punch more. Your movement was brilliant, but you need to land more punches and let them go. Because when you did, it was very, very good. And Lopez, yeah. I don't need to say anymore. I've said it.
He really annoyed you, hasn't he?
He has indeed. I'm not a fan. Let's just say it like that. Okay, thank you very much for listening.
Guys.
And thank you, Carlos.
You're in trouble with him now, you know. He is going to get you.
And yeah, we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, liking, disliking, commenting, all the above. Subscribe, please, as well. Or not, it's up to you.
Yeah, no,
and,
just do subscribe.
Subscribe because we'll keep making stuff for you to comment on. So you can give your opinion.
And we want to see more Lopez fights.
Yeah. See you in the next one.
I don't know.